What's going on, everybody? Sean Bowen and Mike Hogan here on a beautiful day in the city of Toronto. So we figured we'd take this one outside here and get the stadium in the backdrop. Some big news coming from practice. James Franklin has been named the starter this Saturday against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Coincidence enough, the last start that he in fact had was on Canada Day against the same Saskatchewan Roughriders where he was injured. McLeod Bethel-Thompson then took over. Pretty good solid 10 games on Mac's behalf, but all of a sudden now there's a change. Hoagie, I don't want to ask you whether or not if this is the right move, but why now? Why start James this week?
I would assume at this stage of the season when it's been tough sledding, although, McLeod has played exceptionally well, in 4 of the last 5 games. Coach Chamberlain, I guess, just felt it was time to get a little spark in there, and maybe he feels that James is that. So the change was made, and we'll see how that goes on Saturday. I feel terrible for Thompson, Bethel-Thompson, who played very well for the most part, but had a very rough first half against Calgary. The change was made when Franklin came in. He hooked up with the long pass to Armani Edwards, and then hit Darrell Walker with the long touchdown as well. So it sucks in this instance because it's not like you have 2 receivers battling for 2 of 5 spots, or in the secondary, there's one job. And, this, for whatever the reasons behind it, Corey Chamberlain has said, James, you're my guy on Saturday.
Small sample size. We go back to last Friday. I mean, he looked okay in the second half. I mean, that pass to Darrell was fantastic. It was right on the money. But besides the point, he will be getting the start this Saturday against the Roughriders. Okay, let's talk about this matchup. The one thing that the Argos are going to need to do to get this victory is they're going to have to slow down Powell, who leads the CFL in rushing touchdowns as a running back. Who's coming up big for the Argos in double blue to stop this guy?
Well, we've seen Bear Woods since he's been back. Obviously, he's been someone who's been able to stop the run. Before that, Herdman Reed was very good at filling gaps. He was really, really positionally sound as a young player. But Bear has just made a difference. 9 tackles in his first game back. He had 7 in the first half. Against Calgary.
You got to stir it up when you say it, though. You got to do a celebration, though. That's what you got to do when you talk about Bear.
But that's one thing that Bear brings, whether he's playing or not. He's the guy that kind of brings that intensity.
He brings the energy. Oh, for sure.
You were on the sidelines.
Yeah,
you see what he's like down on the sidelines.
Oh, I know. He doesn't stop talking, but it's great to have that, though.
Yes.
And it's something you certainly need.
Well, you've got other leaders on this team. McLeod was vocal one-on-one. When he was in there, James is going to be vocal as well. S.J. Green is a leader, but he's not the same kind of vocal player.
Yeah.
That's going to, kind of be like that guy all the time. So Bear has been not only inspirational off the field, but he's been a hell of a player since he's come back.
Okay, so you want to do this one more time? You want to try doing a key here? Let's see what we can do this week. What's Mike Hogan's key to a victory? Let's try to get one here this Saturday, please. We could certainly use the morale around here. So, Hoagie, lay it on the fine folks who are watching us right now. What's Mike Hogan's key to a victory?
I want to see number 10 play like number 10.
Okay.
Because Armani Edwards is going to be in the uniform number 10 donned by Terry Greer, who's being honored on Saturday night. In my estimation, aside from Doug Flutie, Terry Greer is the best player the Argos have had in my 50 years of fandom.
Favorite player?
He's on the top 10, no question. He's top 5.
Okay.
But, for guys of my vintage, I was in college when the 83-84 teams were up, and he captured the imagination of a city. The Argos were the number 2 team in town then. It was the Leafs and then the Argos, and they hadn't won in 31 years. And there's a lot of bad football. And the 2 years prior to 83-84, were really bad football. And then Greer and Holloway and Minter and the names just kind of roll off, and this group of young players capture the imagination of this city, led by Terry Greer and Condrich Holloway. Greer is the best receiver in Argo history. 2,003 yards in 1 year. Still has the CFL record, a co-share of the record with 16 catches in a game. He had 15 in another game. And he has a record that will never be broken in the Canadian Football League. There are only 3 players in CFL history who have had more than 3 200-yard games. Greer did it back to back to back.
That's crazy.
He did it in 3 games. He did it 5 times in his career. He's the GOAT in terms of Argonauts, and not named Doug Flutie, of course, but guys like Pinball, Masadi, Mookie, there have been some great names on offense on this team specifically, and to me, Terry Greer is still the guy.
I assume Terry Greer will be at the Shipyard signing some autographs prior to the game. Will also be honored here on Saturday as well, so look out for that. Also remind you, bring in non-perishable food items we're donating to the food bank this week. It's obviously going for a great cause, so when you are coming to the game, be sure to help someone out and bring a non-perishable food item. On behalf of Mike Hogan, I'm Sean Bowen. Thanks very much for joining us, and we will see you guys next week.